This is SportsCenter.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. We got a lot of games to cover, so let's get to it. In our first game this week, we had the Panthers walk away with a 6-point victory. Tony Parrish stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Kevin Jones rushed for over 50 yards and helped his Lions beat the Bears. Up in historical New England, we had the Patriots get squeezed out by 4 points. Up in the HHH Metrodome, we had the Vikings edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. The Redskins airmailed 300-plus yards in their victory at Raleigh, Maryland. Jaguars, Bills. Travis Henry is just thinking, let's get out of the shadow of our own goal line. There's a first down. What shadows? The only shadows are the defenders behind him. He could go all the way. A 98-yard run. The Bills go on to win this by the final score of 16-14. The Cardinals won on the road and will now head home to meet the Patriots. Hines Ward had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Quincy Morgan had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Browns beat the Ravens. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
We'll shift gears now just a little and have a look at a few trades that should certainly be of interest. Kennard Lang leaves the Browns and is on the move to the Redskins, so he should provide an immediate impact as an outside pass rusher. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Ronaldo Wynn is a guy that ought to be able to fit right in with his new club, and he should make his presence felt over time.
Deep in Cajun country in New Orleans, we had the Saints walk away with a 6-point victory. Chargers, Texans. Phillip Rivers calls signals at the 12-yard line. He's so dangerous, buying time, moves out of the pocket, fires, touchdown. The Chargers win this one by the final score of 28-21. Up at Invesco Field at Mile High, we had the Broncos get squeezed out by 4 points. The Giants erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at the Lincoln Financial Field. The Jets won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Chargers. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. Brian Dawkins will be out of action for a while, and that will be a huge loss for this defense. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for 4 weeks. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Donnie Abraham will miss the remainder of the season. So now that secondary is going to have to really come together if they're going to make up for his absence. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
And in our final game, we had the Titans come away victorious. So as usual, plenty of surprises around the NFL. And heck, we just got into week 1. My primetime players' game balls go out to these gentlemen, each one with a fine start to the season. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.